Margaret in Windsor, and I wanted to address this morning the killing of supposedly they have of I believe her name's Kaylee Mueller. They're making her out to be a hero. They're talking about how compassionate, et cetera, and her wishing to help people. And they have really, this shows you what the media can do also. And when I put this up here, there's going to be people that hate my guts for it. But I'm going to go ahead and reiterate again. I fought for my name, to get my name back, since I found out about my kidnapping in '83. After flown out to Larry Flint's in a political campaign, I'd written about mind control murders, and Dr. Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, in Atlanta, and his plane had gone down. And it's how I was writing about mind control, modifying behavior and all that, programming people to go out and shoot or butcher knife or drive a car into the river and drown. James Holmes is one of those, and the shootings at Aurora, Colorado Theater. He's not mentally ill. He's a victim of mind control, just like the man who shot Larry Flint in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing the book MD, A License to Kill. It never got published because they put antifreeze in me. April Fool Day of '80. He says here, I know who was responsible for his shooting, and he mentions Larry McDonald, Thomas Murphy, but it's the agents involved also. But anyway, I found out about my real name and my kidnapping. I was brought over to Moulton, Alabama in '41 from Buckingham Palace, given the name of a twin, and I'm just showing the male twin. This is the mother, Lana. She was unwed, and this is the family that covered it up. This is me, and this is in spring of '43. I can remember running away because they brought in the tripods. They had no cars. And they're dressed for this one specially. You don't see the shack. You don't see the abuse that was heaped upon me, other than the trauma of taking me from my loving home and family. And this is my father, Edward VIII, a good man, 99 years still put on his takedown forced. And the lie, he never married Wallace Simpson. She's an American spy. She married a double, and they became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe, and my mother was an American Irish. She was a school teacher. Now then, this woman has lived and given away Great Britain, along with her father that signed illegal treaties and became the illegal monarch, and so is she. They're part of the New World Order, the Illuminati, the Bilderbergers, and the Rothschilds, and the Kennedy clan, and then it goes on from there because the Clintons are part of it, and probably all of the presidents, maybe not Jimmy Carter, I hope, was part of the Freemason or Illuminati that's in power now. This was Roosevelt, and this is my own uncle in '39, and Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador, and JFK and the older brother flew in there, and I'm assuming that they got me over here on a plane and took me here. But the abuse was so horrifying, and they gave me a name, and it still sticks. And because you know what the United States did with their illegal treaties? They installed a monarch, illegal might be, but they were the ones who signed the treaties that allowed the United States to put its military bases all over everything British. All you have to do is look around. And in doing so, they tied Great Britain's hands when I was kidnapped, and brought over here. I'm Victoria II, and I am the legal heir. There was an addendum to the forced abdication, and it's legal, but the 99-year seal has been put on it all, and the lies that have been told. My father was framed, just like me in this country, if it's ever told. This is my sons, Mark and Scott, an old photo. Mark is there after me, and I wish the world could know what they did to my sons, Mark and Scott. This is one of the mind control murders done in patterns, and I'm not going to go in. I've put a lot of it up on videos. This is NASA, who my kidnapping helped finance the space program at Huntsville. I was taken 40 miles to Moulton, Alabama from there. So this is twins. Remember I said I was brought here and given the name of a twin, Peggy Dempsey, married Childers. And this is Mark Kelly, who's married to Gabby Gifford. He's a twin to Scott Kelly. That's my son's names. And she was a congresswoman, and I ran for Congress. And this is in Tucson, Arizona. So both Mark and Scott Kelly are astronauts, and they're twins. And that was a mess, mind control. So what I also wanted to say was about the young girl. And I'm not going to apologize for saying this. I haven't committed a crime. They've been committed against me. Here I even wrote Osborne back then about the finding out about my kidnapping and the murder of the twins. She murdered her twins. And by the way, I was in, I had the car. Larry Flint furnished me a car. So that was kind of backup plus this. Because they were trying to use the mental health system to lock me up and kill me is really it. State of Alabama was in on the whole thing, too. John Sparkman and the senators now know it, U.S. senators, and God knows who doesn't. The media sure do. But anyway, now I'm going to lose what I was going to say. I was when I had the car from Hustler. And remember, just one thing out of it that's enough I should have gone in a coma and died was the antifreeze on April Fool Day. After writing the book, and I didn't know about my kidnapping until '83, late '83. And it's so horrifying. I've done this so many times, but that's when I found out about my kidnapping. And I'm going to lose it here for one time. I'm not going to be able to go back and pick up. I'm trying to get it on in these 8-minute tape, and it's just about run out. But anyway, I want to say this about, I was at Carlisle, Kentucky, and by the way, that Carl is part of the twins' name. Annie Carter is this one right here, if I can find her, Dempsey Carter. Now, then I was there, and I thought she was the better one of the family. And I had that on me, and I told her enough that she knew I knew, and that Larry Flint knew, and the FBI, which I'd gotten a letter from them. And so she even checked out books for me and all that. Well, I left, and when I went back there, the car was gone, and I was put back on foot again on the side of the road with this Lana Dempsey trying to kill me because she would have faced the death penalty in Alabama for the death of the twins. Now, nobody's ever addressed the twins' death or my kidnapping here, and this family covered it up. She told me that her mother had them covered up because Dempsey would have faced the death penalty. So she thought when the book was published, if I got it published, I'd find out. Well, I did. Book didn't get published. But nobody's addressed this or my kidnapping, and now then, I'll leave it at that on that. But this is the reason, I don't want to misquote Obama, but he said something about when you pay ransom to a kidnapper that you help finance their wars. And he was referring to ISIS, I believe, in the murder of Mueller, Kaylee Mueller, the young lady. Well, this is what I've been telling you. From day one, the money, the illegal treaties, you can never repay or undo. Only God could. That has gone into financing the United States war against the world. Who do you think runs it now? Russia doesn't. So you can't, and I'm described as what? Would you like to see how they describe me? And I'm trying to fight for my life and my kids and my country. And Germany, by the way, helped me. Some Americans. But the lies have been just about like they did to my father. And nobody, the Americans, seem offended when I try to tell it. And I'm going to say this. I think, I'm not going to quote him, it was reported they might send warplanes in as retaliation for the murder of Mueller, this young lady. Well, what in the